folks, let's jump in here tonight. We got so much to talk about, it's unbelievable. We really do. I just speaking to Ken McCoy off air there a little bit and sharing some things with him and told him to make yourself at home tonight. Just family out here listening tonight. And I'm sure that this man has to be getting a little nervous. I'm sure that he knows by now that his program interview went viral on the net over the weekend. I'm amazed at how far it's went. About every online news magazine that I know of has got it. Radio shows, hosts calling me, be on their radio shows. Other people that were say in the know are calling and asking questions. And I don't know. It's just, but this has been a bombshell as far as actually opening people's eyes to the truth. And Lieutenant McCoy from North Carolina is an officer in North Carolina. He's going to be sharing a lot of things with tonight, folks, and we'll be taking phone calls too, if at all possible. But I must ask you, please, limit your questions or comments just to one question, one comment, and do it quickly. After the bottom of the hour, take phone calls at 855-242-8824. And first-time callers, you will go to front of the line. If you're a police officer or military, retired or whatever, you will go to the front line also. 855-242-8824. Lieutenant, thank you for having the courage and the Christian love in your heart to join us tonight.
Sure, I appreciate that.
Well, we appreciate you, brother. I cannot begin to tell you how proud I am to know you via radio and what you're trying to do and the truth you're telling to the people. Thank you so much for having the courage to do this. I know you care for the people. You want to do this. You're putting your whole, not only your career on the line, you're putting your life on the line, aren't you?
Yes, sir, I certainly am. And if I could, I'd just like to say I've done a lot of praying, and I got two special Christian friends that I've kind of talked with, and we figured it was time for the truth to be released.
Well, we got a lot of things covered tonight, but I don't want to rush through any of them if I can help it. And folks, I promise we'll get you phone calls if we can. But again, Lieutenant, would you mind telling the people, as briefly as you possibly can, what you do know firsthand that's coming down probably in the next 2 or 3 months in this country?
Yes, sir. Like I told you in the other program, the local law enforcement is training with the military, with drones and choppers. And the training locally here began basically in May of 2012. Now, it's not something new, but it's something that they've really stepped up with.
Okay, now what kind of training and what other plans you think for the future? Just lay it all out, just like you've been told it.
Yes, sir. It's basically I'll lay it out there for you. It's not really a secret to a lot of law enforcement officers here that's on the side of God and country. We know the feeling, and we all feel it, and they plan on a total all-out gun confiscation. And it's just simple. I mean, it's just that way. Basically, how they've got the law enforcement agencies tied in was with all these federal government funding programs. It didn't make any difference what an agency wanted. For specifically the last couple of years, they've just poured and poured and poured millions and billions of dollars into local law enforcement agencies. Now the federal government owns them, and they have pretty well have to do what they say do if they want to continue.
Oh yeah, you suck off the federal ticket, they're going to ask you to pay them back. That's for sure.
Yes, sir.
Now, I lost my train of thoughts. Many questions come through my mind. I can't keep up with them. As far up as you know, who's behind this? As far up as you know.
It goes way high.
Okay.
I'd rather not say exactly what I do know, but I do know it goes high in the federal government.
Well, you do know that Illinois, as we speak, has got a bill proposed that would outlaw any kind of more than probably single-shot rifle or handgun, whether it's lever actions, pump actions, whatever. You know that, right?
Yes, sir. I did hear that. Yes, sir.
And they would not grandfather anything. They'll all be turned in or confiscated. Do you foresee that happening across country?
Yes, sir, I do. And one of main training sessions for this, and I know people's hashed over this, but I know it for a fact, that Hurricane Katrina was just a training session for local law enforcement agencies across the country.
Yes.
And if you'll notice, they never utilized their own departments there. They brought in law enforcement agencies from out of state. They brought in National Guard from out of state to see how things would work. And now they're carrying on with that training to the local law enforcement agencies. And old law enforcement officers always call it the old knock and talk rule, but it's not a law. It's a rule.
Yes.
That's what their intentions is to carry through with the knock and talk. And you can either let them in by invitation or they will come in.
Yeah, that in Hurricane Katrina, they literally arrested people, and the one video went viral. The little lady had a handgun; she was holding it, and they tackled her with it. This is on this, and they did do gun confiscations after Katrina. The mayor said we're going to do it, and they did it. Now
there won't be any tackling this time, Pastor Butch.
Won't be any what now?
There won't be any tackling anyone this time.
This time be what then?
Be total force, deadly force.
You mean, okay, gotcha. So there's no point in trying to reason with them, is there?
No, sir.
Won't do a bit of good. Do you foresee foreign troops on this?
I haven't. I know there's a lot of them training, especially in the southern state military bases, but I have not. That's one thing I have not seen or heard.
Well, now, you said that about 3/4 of the law enforcement that you know will not go along with this, right?
Yes, sir, that's correct. Mm-hmm.
So will they stand up and fight with us or just go home? And
yes, sir, they will.
They're
going home with their families just like I am.
And they will stand with us on this and fight?
Yes, sir, they plan on standing on the line. Because it's all on the line for us.
Yes, it is. Well, now, do the gung-ho joint heads, as you call them, I saw a T-shirt on one the other day that's unbelievable. I don't get into that on the air, but, well, that said something about being a cop and you don't F with cops.
Yeah.
I cannot believe this. There was a time that may have been fired for that. But nonetheless.
I can believe that one.
Well, it's really sad. I mean, it's really sad. These young, bald punks think that just because we're getting some years in us, that we're just going to roll over and play dead.
Yes, sir.
You know, I told one time, I'm told to fight and too fat to run. I'll just shoot you. You know, I mean, I can't keep up a 19-year-old to the woods anymore. I know that, but that's not the point. But these guys that know that these gung-ho idiots, don't they know that they're going to be used for cannon fodder?
Yes, sir. They don't really realize that. They're not even thinking. Most of them can't think that far ahead. But, you know, once the mission's completed for them, that's exactly what they'll be, as cannon fodder. Because they won't be needed any longer, sir.
Well, in the process of carrying this mission out, they're going to be a lot of them going to be taken out. You know that.
Yes, sir.
I don't expect everyone in the country to just roll over and hand their guns in and say I quit. I don't see that happening.
No, sir. There'll be a lot of them, and a lot of it'll be won't be true. There'll be a lot of coverage of people standing in line to turn in their firearms because that's the right thing to do, and oh geez, it's horrible.
Now I'm going to ask my board op, if you can, Charles, cancel the next commercial interstation. If you can, please stop the next few. You can do it. Okay, you can do it. I just want to ask. All right, because there's much covered tonight. Now, what do you see happening that will cause this huge move towards confiscation?
It's inevitable. They want it, and they're going to do it. They've been ordered to do it, and they're going to do it. They intend on carrying through with it.
Well, but do you see a catalyst behind it? I mean, what are they going to use to cover it up? Is it? Do you think it's going to be an economic collapse before they do this, or what?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay.
The economic downfall will be the beginning of it. And if I can interject this, a lot of and don't take me wrong what I'm saying, Pastor, but they're using folks like you and AJ to keep the fire burning hot. That's what they want. And until the last minute, you guys don't have anything to worry about.
All right, break it down a little more. What do you mean?
In other words, the government wants you guys to keep pouring gas on the fire and make it bigger and hotter. They call it fanning the flames. See, I have a far bigger background than just a law enforcement officer.
Well, so what you're saying is they want us out there. They won't bother us for a while. They'll take others down first.
Yes, sir. You'll be the first ones to go down. That along with the communication systems.
Okay. But they want. Are they actually looking for a fight? Is what you want to do? Pick a fight?
Yes, sir. They are. But they want us to start it this time because they realize what backfired on them before.
Well, now, if there's an economic collapse, and if that's part of the plan, are they waiting for the chaos to come from that before they start making the move?
Yes, sir. That's what they're waiting for.
Now you've heard that firsthand, right?
Yes, sir. I have.
And what kind of timeline do you see on this?
It's kind of hard to actually pick, but the way the news is going right now, and I don't mean from regular TV, but but the sources are saying is sometime it could be any time from 30 to 45 days to as far as 6 months, according to how long it takes them to get everything in line.
Okay, hang on to the break, please, Lieutenant. Folks, right, back at the break, the next half hour with your phone calls. Like I said, we'll get all the calls when we can, but limit to one comment or one question, please.
So 30 to 45 days before they're going to start taking out people in the public eye. That's good to know.
855-242-8824. Folks, what we've been talking about for almost 20 years in the radio is coming about now. Are you listening now? Are you paying attention?
Or should I say people in the public ear?
Attention now. Are you paying attention now?
Life Change Tea detoxifies. GetTheTea.com. It's only about $1 a day. Receive more energy. GetTheTea.0408. Head.
A ferocious appetite for C supports your body's resistance. One tablet by vaping with.
But I don't want
to. They start with the preachers, and I'm one of them. They would start because the pulpits were the flame that set this nation on fire for a revolution in the 1700s. The pulpits today are nothing but a bunch of panty-wasted pimps out there tonight in this country. But anyway, back to our guest. By the way, I just found out, Lieutenant, that on one video alone, I know but at least a dozen different online papers and clips going up, and on one alone, we have 22,000 hits this day alone. So you're getting the word's getting out there, okay? And just on one of them. See,
I'm glad the word's getting out, but I don't want the notoriety for it. I'm just doing what the Lord wants me to do.
That's it. But don't you know that you're reaching some people? So I would say, with all of them combined, 250,000 hits easily today. So we are reaching the people. But anyway, as your elected officials, not just law enforcement, but your state senators, local representatives, whatever, are they informed about this?
Some of them are, yes, sir. I've been in touch with one local representative that really he's in line. He knows what's going on.
What are their plans to try to stop it, if any?
They're asking, what can I do alone? And they're scared to the point of not knowing who to try to approach about it.
Well, the sheriffs in your state, the sheriff's departments in your state that you know, do you know if any of those are going to stand with us in this and maybe deputize people in the county to fight with us?
We have about 100 counties in Rowan County, to be exact, in the state, and there's probably 45% that's good. I'll say honest, God-fearing sheriffs that's not going to stand. They're not going to stand with the government. They're going to stand with the people.
But do all your gung-ho friends realize this?
No, sir, they don't.
They don't know it or don't want to know it?
They don't want to know. They don't want to realize it. They don't want to think about it, and they just want to let things go. Don't worry, be happy. Everything's going to be fine.
Well, now there's no way that 1/4 of the law enforcement can enforce all this on 3/4 of other law enforcement. Do they really think they can pull this off?
Well, basically, what their plans are, and it's more than just the weapon situation. The reason for the local law enforcement recruiting is so they'll have someone working with them that can work with anyone, someone that knows the area, knows the people, the local mindsets and the moods, possible pockets or areas of resistance, and that includes farms, dairy farms, cattle farms, anything that could give sustenance or support to the resistance.
So they're going to do what with them?
Yes, sir. They're going to close them down to make sure that they can't support with sustenance or anything else, or hide anyone.
They're going to close local farmers down?
Yes, sir.
How about the suppliers of food, grocery stores and little mom and pop stores?
They don't care about us, sir. They got one agenda and they intend to achieve it.
So they're going to shut down the farmers, but they're not going to bother the food suppliers.
Oh, they'll take the local farmers. They'll take their supplies and stuff, but it'll be for them.
But I mean, as far as the grocery stores and other little stores that may support the resistance, would they also attack them and take them down?
Now that I'm not sure of. I haven't heard any discussion on that, sir.
I mean, there must be some huge preparation going on behind our backs, because this is a logistical nightmare for them to be able to do all this.
This has been in the planning since the mid-'80s, sir.
That is a fact. That I do know.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I can say that specifically because I was involved in the early '80s up until the beginning of Operation Desert Shield with a special operations group at a military base that started training law enforcement officers. It was always denied, but it went on the base all the time.
Are you telling your friends that you can tell to prepare themselves with materials and well, after the break, ask a question. Plus, we got a boatload of phone calls, okay? 855-242-8824. Again, folks, the lines are busy. Keep calling. You'll get through. But keep your questions or comments down to one, please. Give everybody a chance to get on.
This is war.
I'm going to try to fast forward these past commercials.
Person at a time, since.
And then there's my Lieutenant Boy, Nolan. Folks, we are back, and before I do a prayer request tonight for a premature young boy, Nolan, born today, 3 pounds old. Please keep him in your prayers that our Father will give him a healthy life and help the family get through this little crisis. Okay, if you had children, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, Nolan's a little fellow's prayer. Keep in your prayers, please. Brother, about to ask you right before the break. And by the way, folks, if you're out there tonight, and I'm going to say this too before I forget, if you don't mind, Lieutenant, I attended a militia meeting several years ago in Kentucky, Knob Creek, Kentucky. Went down there were 600 people there, Lieutenant, with guns and walking around in a camo, really macho type, gun-ho type guys and women. I went into the tent to preach that day, as I was asked to, and maybe there were 12, 15 people there. I knew right then that the militia was a joke. If they're not looking for the direction of the Almighty God, forget it. And when the head of the militia was arrested, Charlie Puckett, who passed away a couple of years ago, was arrested, only myself and one other man contacted his wife to help her. Now, I'm not bragging on me. The point of it is, we got a bunch of macho wimps out there. And this is why it really has been a little bit frightened, Lieutenant, that these macho morons will go out and pick a fight because they will act macho. They don't have any kind of guidance except their own manlyhood and a bunch of wimps. They'll go out to them, want to egg on a fight. A true believer, a strong man, never picks a fight. He defends himself.
That's correct, sir.
So on individual levels, when you talk to your family, your friends, are you telling them to prepare for something?
Yes, sir, I do. My main words are, if you could speak to my friends, they'd say that I always say, trust in the Lord and prepare to defend yourselves.
You tell them to buy food and water filters,
Yes,
this type of
sir.
thing also?
Yes, sir. From A to Z.
So you're expecting... Go ahead.
If I can interject one thing, and Alex Jones really does not know how correct he is about the training from that field manual he refers to, because that's where it's all coming from.
Well, that's been around for quite a while now. And Alex exposed this program years ago, and I know it did on mine also. This has been around for quite a while.
That didn't change their mindset.
Do I now?
That did not change their mindset because it was revealed.
Well, you know, this was kind of it's everybody's hopes, including mine and Alex, everybody else. Perhaps if we would alert enough people, they'll back off a little while. But it'll only be a little while.
I think you're right, and that's what I'm hoping and praying for.
You said, but you think, in your opinion, 3 months something could happen, and no later than 6 months. Is that your honest opinion?
Yes, sir, it is.
And what kind of signs are you seeing now coming about around you that you were told were going to happen? What are you seeing in the way of signs that indicating that this is going to happen?
The training and the info training. They have online computer training, and not all authors get it. Just the chosen or the roid heads, so to speak.
And info training mean what?
On the computer, you just go on and sign in, and you take a class, and it explains the situation and what the objective is.
Are you seeing any signs coming down from the government, perhaps the so-called fiscal cliff and all this phony baloney that they're doing with this? Do you see this as being a sign, indication there's something drawing near also?
In my opinion, yes, sir. From research and everything that I've done, yes, sir, that's all part of the plan.
From your higher-ups, and you've heard this, of course, from people with a higher pay scale than you, right?
Oh, exactly. Way higher than mine.
And are the ones in the hierarchy all for this? Or are they doing it now because it's a job? They plan on doing what you're doing one day, vacate, or what do you see them doing?
It's their job, and they gonna stick with it. They want to stay on top,
no matter what.
Yes, sir.
Does it go as high as the governor?
I'd rather not say, sir.
Okay, you did mention the governor is one of Obama's picks, though, right?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
And he's picked to be on one of the regional governors when this nation was into a regional system. Is that true?
That is exactly correct.
So we know, folks, we've been divided in 10 regions since 1970s at least. On our website, you'll find the regions. I'm in Region 3 in West Virginia. The world's been divided in 10 regions. Actually,
yes,
folks,
sir.
That's true. And there will be 10 kings who cast their crowns to feed the Antichrist. They'll be the heads of those regions. It's all biblically falling before us right now.
Yes, sir.
Before I go to phone lines,
saying here is going by the book, and I'm referring to the Holy Bible.
Amen. Amen. If you were talking...
We can pray, we can put new people in office, and we can do everything within our power.
Yeah.
But we can't change anything the Lord has designated to happen.
Well, I just finished a teaching.
I mean, we can try and we can hope and pray that we can put it off. For God's sakes, people have to wake up. We're talking about our children, our grandchildren. I mean, and it's more than weapons. It's about our freedom.
Amen.
And when the guns are gone, don't think for a minute you won't be able to worship our Lord, the God.
No.
The creator of heaven and earth. He'll be out. And there's no place at all in the Muslim faith for democracy.
They don't know what the word is. They have no idea what freedom is. I don't think they have a word for it.
No, sir, they don't.
They don't. And it's not just a Muslim. It's Illuminati. It's a world powers, period. But,
Yes, sir.
you know, I don't know how to explain this as clearly as I should, maybe, but they disarmed us spiritually a long time ago. The churches in this nation are useless. You know that.
Yes,
As
sir.
a whole, they're useless. So taking the weapons is the last thing. And let's just tell it like it is, Lieutenant. Most so-called Christians, and most people, period, but most Christians will not have enough backbone to stand, will they?
No, sir, they won't. But the ones that do stand are going to be the main targets.
Yes.
After the watchmen are taken out, and I consider you and Alex a watchman, and they want to take on the God-fearing Christian Americans, because once they figure they beat us into submission, then the rest will fall to the side.
Well, they're doing it in courts now. If businesses don't want to support homosexuality, and they're being sued by the sodomite perverts and winning the cases in court. They're taking this under right now. The hate crime bill has been signed, and I guess I'm a hate crimes preacher because I preach against sin. Period. So
I know it's not funny, but
it's really something you said. My grandchildren. I have 3 grown sons and 6 beautiful grandbabies, just like the papaw, but they're beautiful children, and they know papaw.
I hear you.
Well, brother, they know papaw's a wuss. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I say this out of love. Please, I say this sincerely. Don't pick on me. Leave me alone. I don't want to fight. You don't want to fight. No real man wants to fight. But we have to if you make it. So we have to do this. I'm talking up to the other side. This listeners program,
Yes,
man. I know you do. I'm talking to them. Please don't force me to fight. You may take me out the first shot. I may not get a fire shot, but I am not going with you voluntarily. Please understand that. Don't bother me. All I want to do is be able to tell the truth, see people come to Christ, and stand for what's left of righteousness. If you're a cop or you're federal, I don't care who you are. I'm saying this out totally out of love. Don't force me as a pastor, as a Christian, to defend myself and my family, but I will. I don't want to, but I will. And also, if my brother Lieutenant here needs help, if I can get to his home, I'll be glad to help him also. I'm not ashamed of that. If we don't stand together, we're going to be in a huge trouble. We already are. I don't think we'll win the war anyway. But if we don't stand together, we'll be going down much faster, won't we?
Yes, sir, we will.